Three, two, one. Welcome back to Star Trek Redemption. This is episode 8. If you're watching out there, please subscribe and like this video. And we're going to get into it right away. So last week on Star Trek Redemption, the last days were trying. The Saturn's captain was gone, and now Commander Verma had taken command. In the captain's lounge, Commander Verma gave field promotions to Quick, Cantrell, Kaiser, and Tala, all to lieutenant. Studying nearby space, there were two choices. They could attempt to salvage a derelict ship surrounded by a dark matter nebula, or take their chances with a nearby Class M planet, apparently colonized by Vulcans. With the planet the safer of two options, the Saturn made for the planet. Scans confirmed nearly 1,000 Vulcans in a small geographic area with limited technology. It was also confirmed that 99% of the Vulcans were infected with Pinar syndrome. The syndrome was near wiped out on Vulcan a century ago, when mind mills were no longer stigmatized. However, the cure remained on Vulcan itself. It appeared the virus had adapted, mutated, and now was airborne, putting Tala in danger. So, on this planet was a crash cruiser, which was determined to have parts capable to help repair the ship, and the ship was in great need of repair. Verma and Cantrell took it upon themselves to beam down inside the crashed ship in an attempt to see what could be located, and Quick was given the bridge. What am I? Bear with me. Some of my sounds are not working. I don't know why. An inauspicious start. What the hell?
Uh-oh.
It keeps pulling me to the wrong game.
Do you have two games open at the same time?
No, not that game.
Weird.
We did hear the transporter sound.
You did hear it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
we hear
I
it.
didn't hear it. That was weird. Okay. All right, cool. Sorry about that. And let me pull you over. Commander Verma and Lieutenant Cantrell beam into the middle of the ship. The ship from your records is an ancient Vulcan cruiser over 300 years old. Parts of it is exposed to the outside. In the distance you hear the whipping wind across the desert and distant voices. The translators are able to pick those up as Vulcan, but they're too far for you to understand. You look around, seeking signs of salvageable parts for the Saturn. There are no lights, no signs of activity in the ship. Sand mounds pile up inside in certain places. Clearly it's not been functional for some years. You do notice some writings, inscriptions with some red chalk-like substance here and there. And take it away, you two.
Commander Verma, as soon as he energizes on the platform they are on, he looks around and immediately hunkers down in order not to draw any attention to himself.
Following
He
his example, Cantrell also crouches low but keeps an eye outside and her mind open for signs of approaching life.
Lieutenant, could you start looking for the parts? I'm going to take a closer look at these writings to see if there's something we can learn about these people.
Absolutely, sir, I'm on it. And with that, Cantrell, still trying to keep half an eye on the outside of the ship, starts looking around. She's not familiar with this ship, but perhaps she can recognize various systems as antique as they are and try to locate the sensor. And wasn't it comms and sensors that they thought were on here?
I think it was structure and sensors. So something for the structure. Go ahead and give me a reasoned engineering roll. Difficulty 1. You have 1 momentum in the pool.
I'm going to go ahead and spend it.
Okay.
3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm starting over now.
You're fine. Complication. You do find what you're looking for. They are, for the sensors, it looks like it's circuitry that would enable you to replace very important circuits on the Saturn itself. For the structure, you find a specific, basically a part of the hull plating that could be replicated on the ship.
What would she need from that in order to make that happen? Just a sample of it? Or
You would need to take a sizable piece off. The problem and the complication is that doing so would require at least some large tools from the Saturn, and it would not be quiet.
right. Well, she will make a note of that and immediately start going for the sensor chips and panels that she needs.
Yeah, that is going to also require more equipment than you have to actually take it currently.
Okay. I'm assuming that they have their comms and stuff can take images.
Yes, of course. You have her tricorders.
She's going to use her tricorder to, record what she's observing, and then turn to Commander Verma. Commander, good news and bad news. They do have some pieces that we can use, but we don't have the equipment here, and I think it's going to be a lengthier process than I would like it to be.
Very well. Commander Verma focuses attention on the writings on the panels in the red chalk. Our systems should have the Vulcan language in the database.
Yes, you could use your tricorder to
Okay. So
to do
I will
that.
pull up my tricorder and basically program it to translate the writings.
Why don't you give me a science reason
Right.
difficulty 1. Yeah, I will whisper that to you.
Lieutenant Cantrell, I am scanning these writings with my tricorder. I think, given that we have found what we are looking for, but the fact that we will need large equipment, which means we are going to draw attention to ourselves, I propose we scout the area, see what we can learn about these people.
Very well, Commander. What, assuming that we have a large chance of actually encountering someone, what is it that you would like us to say? Naturally, I'll follow your lead on it, but
At this point, sorry, you're saying make contact with them? Was that what you said?
yes, it seems highly likely that we will end up making contact with them. Should that happen, do we have our... What are we going to tell them?
And you can see that um, Commander Verma listened to what you're saying, and he says that, do we make contact with them? And you find that weird the way he's talking. You realize that he is distracted between what you're asking and what his tricorder spits out about the language he reads, and he's little. Lieutenant Cantrell, maybe I was too quick. You should read this. And he shows the tricorder to the lieutenant. It's, the tricorder says it's Vulcan, but not an exact match. It reads, "We are the fighters. None will take our home in the desert." Vulcans do not speak like this.
Lieutenant Tala had hypothesized that these were descendants of Vulcans that perhaps had been exiled or had chosen voluntary exile because of this condition. Perhaps it has now simply become part of their identity. They may not view it as an illness. They may view it as an element of their culture that they value.
That may be so, and I am not one to judge the ways of people, but what troubles me is the first line. Vulcans have a proud history of suppressing their emotions. We were taught in school, in Starfleet, about parts of Vulcan history. They did have bloody history, much like ours. Lieutenant Cantrell, I think, given this information, we should not make contact till we ascertain the outlook of these peoples.
I do suspect that there are at least factions here, judging by this writing, that have the potential for violence.
Yes.
It's a risk. I mean, are we going to go back to the ship and leave, or come back with tools and see if we can retrieve some items and get transported out? Should we be approached?
Given the items we have found and the work that would be necessary to take them back, it would be hard not to do this without being noticed. I think we will have to make contact, but we should make contact, like you're saying, with a faction that is more amenable. Maybe they need medicines, supplies, whatever we can spare. If they do not wish to leave the planet, then certainly we cannot take them back with us. I do not wish to endanger Lieutenant Talal.
That makes sense, Commander. Should we have ourselves transported to close to a center with more of a population, then they seem like they might be more likely to, if they're living close together, perhaps that implies that they have that capacity for working together. Might be easier to work with them.
And as you guys are questioning this and moving about inside the ship, can you give me a security and insight roll? Difficulty is 2.
None of my...
I believe you would have focus, yes.
Okay.
Infiltration.
Okay, so I think I got 2
Yep,
successes
you
on
got
that.
it. Waiting for Verma.
Okay, security and insight. No focus. Nice.
You're both looking and talking, and both your eyes see this pulse of red light just perhaps a few centimeters from each of your legs. Both of you would know this is some sort of beam that would set off either an alarm or a trap. You're not sure exactly, but clearly you don't want to step through it. You only see it actually when particles of dust fly up from the outside. Otherwise, it would be completely invisible to you.
I think that Lieutenant Cantrell would reach out a hand to stop Commander Verma, probably at the same time he was sort of doing the same thing, judging by those rolls.
Yeah, pretty much both Commander Verma and Lieutenant Cantrell just reach out to each other and stopping each other in their tracks. Interesting.
Someone's still keeping an eye on this place.
Yes. That's what's curious about it. It's an old freighter. Unless this is contested territory, is what I'm thinking. Maybe both. Not both. Maybe multiple factions here lay claim to this. I couldn't think why someone would put this over here of all places. Commander Verma taps his comm badge. Can he make a connection?
Yes.
Lieutenant Quick, do you read?
Yes, Commander.
Can you scan the planet to the best of the ship's ability to find settlements that are close to our location?
Actually, I should inform you that we are receiving a hail from the surface.
Very well.
Would you like me to connect it to you, sir?
No. Go ahead and answer the hail. Do not give our position away for now. See what is it they want.
Can he leave the line open so that we can hear?
Yes.
Yes. Please follow Lieutenant Cantrell's suggestions. Keep the line open so I can hear them.
Aye, Commander.
When the ship receives a hail, it is actually a repeating encrypted message. And you're unfamiliar with the encryption. So someone will need to roll a science and reason to unencrypt it.
And Quick would probably immediately call on Tala. Tala, could you come take a look at this?
Of course, Lieutenant Quick. What do you need?
This encrypted message.
And she comes down to where he is, looking at the encryption message. And you said science and reason?
Difficulty 1. The cipher seems very old, but it's unfamiliar. Alright, 1 momentum gain there. Alright, let me send that to you.
And while Tala's doing that, Quick will also scan for any settlements that might be close by.
Oh, let's back up 1 second. Sorry, Tala. Can you use the ship's computers? Yeah, it's actually difficulty 3 because of that, since you need to use the ship's computers on this one. You have no momentum. You can give me threat to roll an extra dice. That is possible.
Yeah, let's do that.
There you go.
The ship's science?
Yep. So the message is actually disjointed.
Do I get to roll the extra dice, though?
You just did. Oh, no, you do. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Just roll...
Yeah, just do your same roll again. Just do 1d20.
Okay. In mine, then?
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Oh, boy. Okay. So you do get that momentum after all. Alright, I'll whisper you. Go ahead, Quick. Sorry.
Yeah, Quick is still going to follow up on the commander's orders and try to scan for any settlements that are close by.
Yep, so you would, whoever's going to do that is going to do a science and probably control, and using the sensors on the ship's computers, difficulty 3 because of everything.
Dice pool is 2d20.
Yeah, unless you want to
Yes.
give me an extra die for threat. And now you would roll with your sensors, the ship's computer.
And that's ship command, sorry.
Yeah, you just click on the ship, and there should be a sensors. Yeah.
Zero success on the ship sensors.
Yeah, as you're scanning for other settlements, it's hard to tell where one ends and one begins. They all seem fairly close together. You're unable to determine if one is separate from the other or how they're disconnected or connected.
Is there any way for me to tell how far away they are from their location?
I mean, it pretty much spreads out from here around this area. This seems central to all the
Okay.
actual settlements. That is clear.
So they could be just over the hill anywhere,
Hmm.
as far as we know.
As Lieutenant Tala is looking over the incoming message, reads it, looks up to Lieutenant Quick. I have deciphered the message, and she raises her hands, taps her combat. Commander,
Go ahead, Lieutenant La.
the message we received from the planet, it reads, "Help, my name is Terrell. We seek aid. My coordinates 5.566.124.
Is
Very well.
there a date attached to this message or any way to track that?
There does not seem to be a date. I'm assuming it was just sent to us.
Why don't you give me a another sensors roll, Tala?
Okay.
Or whoever's manning the sensors, if it's quick or...
That'd be quick.
You want me to go for it again?
Yeah, go for it.
This could be an old beacon.
It could be. It could also be someone looking for aid. Maybe a way to exchange goods.
Okay, now go ahead and roll yourself. Science and control. Or insight, whichever. Control's probably better for you.
Is that a difficulty one?
It's a difficulty 3, yeah.
Oh,
One success on both rolls.
Yeah, you're not, the sensors are just damaged, so it's hard to, yeah, you are unable to pick up any additional information about the broadcasted message.
And if we're still on comms with the commander
you are.
as well, I'd let him know too. Commander, I've been unable to zero in any location on surrounding settlements on how close you are to them, but they seem to be all around you. We were unable to get an exact date on this transmission, but it does seem to be in a continual loop.
What was the message again, Lieutenant Slaw?
it was, "Help, my name is Terrell. We seek aid. My coordinates 5.566.124.
Do those coordinates mean anything to us? And is it just here or is it more specific?
Most likely on the planet itself.
Tala, why don't you give me, or whoever's doing sensors. Actually, that's pretty easy. You wouldn't need to roll for that. You can, if you go by the coordinates on the planet, what that matches is probably about 3 kilometers away.
Commander, should we transport you to this location?
What is the from our tricorders? Do we get some basic reading about the weather outside? Things like wind, temperature, sunlight.
Yep. It is approximately 105 degrees, with the winds moving at 30, about 25 kilometers per hour. And you have EV suits all within acceptable levels. You can tell that it is, you have another 3 hours of sunlight where you are now.
Okay, roughly 3 kilometers from where we are, and Verma would know from Lieutenant Cantrell's file that she has capabilities for things like almost like reconnaissance,
Yes.
like ranger kind of setup.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Cantrell,
Yes, Commander.
let me know your thoughts. We have to meet whoever sent that message now. That person, since we don't know when the message was sent, we don't know who this person is, if they're alive or dead. We don't even know what is at that location. Beaming the both of us there might be folly, and seeing two people arrive, materialize from nothingness, might set them on alert versus a single individual. I suggest that you trek to this location taking a circuitous and extremely cautious approach. If it takes you longer, so be it. I will teleport to that location and try and make contact. If something were to happen to me, you are my backup. If things do not seem well, return to the ship and leave this area immediately.
Lieutenant Cantrell looks at Commander Verma. I'm uncomfortable with leaving you for 3 kilometers. It's going to take me quite a bit of time. Perhaps you could give me a head start before you allow yourself to be transported.
It appears, Commander and Lieutenant Cantrell, that the coordinates, the location is in a deep cave.
Oh, will you be able to transport me, or is the location too deep for a transporter?
We should be able to transport you, no problem.
Very well. I will give you a head start, Lieutenant Cantrell. Take your time, be cautious. If you feel you're under threat, beam up to the ship immediately. We shall figure this out step by step, but we have to be cautious.
Very well, Commander. Thank you. I will give updates if I pass anything of significance on the way there.
Very well. And good luck, Lieutenant, and stay safe.
You too, Commander. And with that, she'll head to the front of the ship, peer out, look in all directions that she can see, not just with her eyes, but with her senses. And then, using the tricorder, she will try to make her way to where those coordinates are.
Yes, you can definitely use your tricorder as a compass, more or less. And Verma Verma, what are you doing now? Are you giving her time? You beaming straight over there?
I'm going to give her some time. I would like to find a place to hide for a bit and formulate my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, there's nooks in here that you can wedge yourself in, damaged compartments, etc.
So Verma will find a nook that he thinks it's safe and hidden from, just casually someone looking around, and he'll sit cross-legged and put his chin on in the palm of his hand and start stroking his chin, deep in thought as to how he should approach this person who has sent this message out into space.
As you're contemplating, Cantrell is moving across the desert towards this location. Lieutenant Cantrell, the one thing these EV suits are not are camouflaged. You're going out into the open desert. There's no obvious places to hide after you begin leaving the ship. You see in the distance, off to your left, which would be south, figures very, very distant. Not likely can't see you from here, based on you being down in a little valley, but you're pretty much wide open.
Do the EV suits, how noticeable would they be from a distance? I mean, do you just look
Well, they're
kind of like
white.
a person?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, you would just look bulky from a distance probably, but they are white.
All right. So she's gonna check the tricorder, and to the best of her ability, she's going to try to steer wide of any people that she sees. If it seems unavoidable that she's going to be passing close, she will stop and let Commander Verma know. She's also going to be stopping every now and then just to give landmarks and point out things that she's seen and noticing, numbers of people that she's noticing, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. You move for probably a half an hour across the desert. With you stopping and just the general terrain, it's going fairly slow. Eventually you come to the outskirts of what you did not notice at first, because they're made out of the rock formations, but perhaps these are homes. Let me switch over there. You look at your tricorder, and clearly you will have to go through this area if you want to make it to the coordinates any time before dark.
How close?
You are about 50 meters outside. There's probably at least 24 people milling around inside a large circle of rocks. And from this vantage you can see there's doors chiseled out of them, windows, that sort of thing.
How close to the Terrell coordinates?
Probably another 1.5 kilometers.
All right. She'll find a rock to hunker down behind, and she will use the communicator to contact Commander Verma.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Commander, I have reached a settlement, and I will have to pass through in order to reach the location I see. How many did you say? About a dozen?
24.
Tet? About 24. They look to be Vulcan, and their domiciles here. Can I see that they're doing anything particular, or are they just
Not really. They're just kind of going day to day
Sure.
type of things. Nothing strange.
I don't notice anything unusual or militant about their current activities. I'm awaiting further orders.
Very well, Lieutenant. Hold your position. I will beam to the location that was sent to us. I will let you know if things are well. If they are not, if by sundown, if you don't hear from me, beam back to the Saturn.
Very well, Commander. What would you like me to do if I'm found? Attempt friendly contact or beam up immediately?
Attempt friendly contact if possible, but do not engage. If you think you are going to be overrun, beam up.
Very well, Commander. Lieutenant Quick, let's be ready to beam on a moment's notice.
Of course, Lieutenant Cantrell, we've got your back.
Lieutenant Quick, you can transport me to the coordinates given to us.
Am I
Energize.
close?
Go ahead.
Am I close enough to feel any of their emotions? And if I am, do they feel at all unusual?
How far do you see? Empath. I would say you're not quite close enough.
Okay.
Commander, you're ready to transport now?
Yes, energize.
O'Connor.
Okay. You energize. Commander Verma, you transport into a large open cave. You see in the distance a hazy light. You're unable to see the exact opening due to how the cave is curved. Standing before you is a Vulcan woman. You notice two things immediately. First, she holds a phase pistol, which you've never seen the design of, but you've seen relics, military relics of similar designs. It looks like more like a gun than a phaser. And on her hip, you notice she has some sort of sword. She points the pistol at you, waiting for you to say something.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Commander Verma raises his hands up to his chest, making sure that it's clear that he is not reaching for any weapon. My name is Commander Verma of the starship Saturn. I come in peace. We received a message. Are you Talar?
She nods. I am Thrill. And she looks sidelong at you. I expected you to be Vulcan.
I am not. I am human.
Human. I've heard of humans.
Yes, my apologies. A lot has happened in. He kind of looks for a word. Since your arrival to this planet, and I mean by your arrival, your ancestors' arrival.
Yes. They don't know we have equipment that scans space. She appears to have some labored breathing. You see veins bulging from the side of her neck, her temple. Her eyes look glassy. They're going to come here soon. Overrun us. Kill us all.
Who? Can we speak in some place where it would be safe for you for the moment? You seem unwell. I do not wish to tax you any further with my presence and questions.
She extends the phase pistol towards you. Take me to your ship now, or they'll kill us all. Hurry!
That I cannot do. We need to hide, and I will explain, but I cannot take you back to my ship.
There's no way to hide. This cave dead ends. They're out there. They're coming. They're coming. Now she puts her finger on the trigger.
Hold. Give me a moment. And he clicks his comm badge. Lieutenant Cantrell,
Yes, Commander.
I need you to beam up to the ship immediately.
Very well, Commander.
Lieutenant Quick,
Aye.
how many shuttle pods do we have on the ship at the moment?
You would have one working.
I need you to take one and fly it out of the ship.
Aye, Commander.
And he clicks his comm badge again. Crewman, what is it?
O'Connor, the
O'Connor.
transporter
Crewman
lady.
O'Connor, I need you to transport us, me and a Vulcan female, to the transporter pad on the shuttlecraft. Is it possible?
Yes, Commander. Yes, sir.
Very well. Lieutenant Quick, we do not have much time. Please be. And he kind of gives a smile. Quick about it.
I'm on it, Commander. And Quick nods towards Tala. Tala, you have the bridge. And takes off for the pod.
All right, 1 second, guys. Doesn't take long. Actually, let's see how long it does take. Quick, give me a con daring roll. Difficulty 1. All right. Let me back up. I know what I'm going to do. As Lieutenant Quick is getting in position. You still are forced to wait until he does so. The damage through the ship is extensive, so the quickest way to the hangar bay is a lot less efficient than normal. As you're waiting, Commander Verma, you hear people, other Vulcans, coming down the cavern entrance. They also have phase pistols in their hand, and they're rushing towards you.
He looks to Tyrell. Are these the ones you were worried about?
Yes! And she just ducks behind cover and starts shooting at them. You see just her face grimace and rage as she shoots.
Commander Verma mutters under his breath something about, "Where's Quick?" And he takes cover as well, close by to this Vulcan. He sets his phaser to stun, though.
Yeah, you see she is definitely not as they're shooting. A firefight goes back and forth, but some of the rebels actually charge with their swords drawn. What do you do? Going to shoot them? Yes, it's still open comms. So
Yes,
if you wish to have a discussion to law with Commander Verm, you can do it as this is all kind of ramping up.
And Tala patches them. Commander,
Yes, Lieutenant.
we can tell they're under fire, right?
Yes.
Okay. I understand you are under fire at the moment. What are the enemy forces like at the moment? As I am not sure how long it is going to take for Lieutenant Quick to reach the shuttle.
There seem to be 3, maybe more, Vulcans rushing our location. It is strange. Their faces are contorted with rage. They have swords in addition to weapons.
Commander, the illness is curable once we reach Vulcan again. I do not want you to put your life in danger for something that is curable.
Lieutenant Tala, I do not know if I can get this ship to the next planet, let alone Vulcan, and you can see Commander Verma's voice is raising. I'm not going to endanger my only officer who can keep the ship running.
And Tala pauses for a moment. Yes, but we cannot lose you, Commander. The effects take quite a while to come up. I am sure we will be able to fix the ship, or at least get back in time.
And he kind of raises his hand and shoots over his head towards the rebels, trying to gain some time. Dr. Kaiser.
Yes, Captain.
How long do the effects of this disease before Lieutenant Tala is affected?
Do I have that information on hand, Ted?
So say that again. What were you looking for there, Zypher?
Basically, how long will it take before Lieutenant Tala is actually affected by this disease?
Before it actually begins to degrade neural pathways?
Yes, indeed.
Months.
Months? No. Is it possible to create in the brig, use the force field to create some sort of containment unit
Of course, we can quarantine office section. We already have that prepared, in fact, Commander.
Okay, fine. Will the quarantine hold if I bring a Vulcan on board?
Absolutely.
Very well then. Lieutenant Quick. No, I know he's at the thing. Lieutenant Tala, beam me and the Vulcan into that quarantine zone now. And Commander Verma shoots a couple of more phasers over his head.
Yes, Commander. She patches into Grim and O'Connor. O'Connor, lock onto 2 individuals on Commander Verma's location. Beam to quarantine zone.
As you're doing that, one of the rebels rushes you, Verma, and tries to dive at you as the transporter beam is starting to lock on. Why don't you give me a fitness security?
Sure.
Cantrell would be on the bridge too.
There's 1 momentum, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to use that. What's the
Okay.
difficulty?
This is difficulty. It's actually going to be opposed, so.
Okay. So 3d20. Okay. Opposed. Okay.
So you have to beat a 1, and you do. So he dives at you, and you're able to move out of the way just in time as the transporter beam does lock on still, and you are beamed into sick bay. And give me a few minutes to switch the scene.
Sure.
And he goes flying like through you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crashes behind you.
Is the quarantine in the sick bay or in
Yes,
the
it's.
rig?
Did you decide what it was? It's up to you.
Quarantine is... I think we have it in one of the prison
Okay,
things.
it's in the brick. Okay.
Cantrell was headed to there as soon as she heard what the captain was.
Give me just a moment. Is everybody going there, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Once we find out, Commander's been beamed on board and is safe.
No one else is on the bridge except now Tala, right?
If you want to be on the bridge, that's fine. It's up to you guys.
Um,
You would have
uh,
some other junior officer. You could have Payne or Caval do it. You know, they could be on the bridge too. So
Alright. She'll give the bridge to Payne before coming down as well.
almost there. Sorry. All right. Everybody good? As you are beamed into the containment field, and you see Commander Verma and a Vulcan who looks very, very stressed. Just by the look on her face. She's sweat on her brow, veins popping out of her neck, on the sides of her face. She has a phase pistol waving it around and a sword in one hand. She turns and drops to the ground.
Commander Verma bends a little. We are safe, Trill. This is the starship. We are here. We are safe.
She looks up at you and nods. Why am I... This is a... And she begins to walk towards the force
Please
field.
stop. Do not approach. It's a force field. You will be hurt. Please, I request you to take a seat.
You've locked me in. I'm a prisoner here.
I am here with you in this room. We are not prisoners. I will explain the circumstances, but I need you to calm down first. Please.
She begins breathing slower. Her body seems to relax.
Please take a seat, and Commander Verma will sit as well.
She finally does.
Commander Verma looks up. The people you see on the other side, they are my officers. I trust them. They will not hurt you. Lieutenant Cantrell, I'm glad to see you're safe.
Yes, Commander. I'm glad to see you're safe as well. Welcome aboard, she says to Jill, not knowing her name.
Sorry, let me make introductions. This is Trill. She is the one who sent the... I'm not quite sure, but we'll get to that. That is Lieutenant Cantrell. He points to Cantrell and then goes down. Lieutenant Quick, Lieutenant Tala, and Lieutenant Kaiser, who is our doctor.
She's ignoring everyone except Tala. A Vulcan, but... Her mouth sneers. You're a half-breed.
Yes, that is correct, Drill. I am half human and half Vulcan.
She actually jerks up her pistol, points it at Tala, and fires. When she does so, of course, it disintegrates against the force field, and she... And Cantrell, you can tell she's getting very worked up again.
Commander Verma, I think that our guest needs some reassurance.
Yes, and Commander Verma does a facepalm. Except for Dr. Kaiser, the rest of you, please make your way to the bridge. Lieutenant Cantrell, please keep yourself posted outside. Lieutenant Tala, Lieutenant Quick, see what you can do in getting more information off the planet. I understand the sensors are broken, but please do try. There must be something we can do. We need some more information.
Of course, Commander.
And what's Tala's reaction of being like shot at point blank? Of course, there's no chance of hitting, but...
So, she kind of raises her weapon and fires. There's not at least a facial reaction from Tala. Maybe a slight puckering of the lips. She does straighten up a bit, hands behind her back. Her shoulders back as well as she looks to Terrell. But she does not hesitate to leave the room when asked.
Quick as well would have almost jumped at the moment she fired, and then straightens up, and almost as if he wants to say something to the commander before he leaves, but he just follows his orders, says, "Aye, Commander," and follows Tala out.
Cantrell will just back up and stay posted, but quiet.
Tyrell looks to Verma. What are you going to do to me in here? Dissect me? Turn me into a half-breed? Breed me?
No. Please, I request you to calm down. That is Dr. Kaiser. We we are here to help, and we are in need of help. And maybe, just maybe, we can help each other, Trill. But I would appreciate if you would not shoot at one of my officers in the future.
She looks over to you and then down to her phase pistol and holsters it and slides her sword back into its scabbard. She does not respond verbally.
Like I've said, you are on my starship, you are my guest, and you will not be hurt. We are far, far away from the people who tried to attack you.
Humans are dogs. What honor could they pot? And she catches herself and shakes her head. Yes. Fine. Fine, I'm here.
Lieutenant Kaiser, he kind of shakes his head. Dr. Kaiser, could you explain to Trill here what she's experiencing?
Let me do an evaluation first to make sure there's nothing else, but I'll have to ask her to relinquish her weapons, just in case she does not agree with some of my testing.
Could the testing be done from within the force field? I do not wish to infect any more crewmen that can potentially come in contact with Lieutenant Allah.
I am wearing my EV suit, Commander. I could certainly come in without any issue. I would have Koval drop and then quickly bring the force field back up.
He looks to Trill. Is this acceptable? He is a doctor. And your message said you needed aid.
Why don't you give me a command presence roll, difficulty 2, to get her to give up her weapons?
Okay. And diplomacy. You said
Yes,
diplomacy?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, command presence. Command presence. Difficulty 2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
She looks between the two of you. Yes, I need help. And she pulls off her belt and passes it over to Verma.
Verma accepts it with both hands. I will keep it here. It will not leave your sight. It is in this room. Like I said, we pose no danger to you. And he'll take the weapons and keep it far away, but in the room where she can see them.
She looks down at them and nods slowly as she turns back to Kaiser, waiting for him to lower the force field and come in.
Alright, so Kaiser would look to Koval, who I'm assuming is still
Yeah,
on ship here as security staff, and nod to him to drop the force field for a moment, and then he would walk in with his EV suit, and he already kind of expects she's going to have the syndrome, the Panar, but just wants to run to make sure there's nothing else going on, some medical tests.
Kaval grunts, as he sometimes does when he disagrees with things, and lowers the force field.
So I'll go in and then nod to him to raise it again, and just do some basic medical things with tricorder, making sure there's no obvious diseases or if everything is solely from the Benar.
Yeah. Let me.
Right, and Kaiser looks at the data and furrows his brow a bit. Am I aware of anything? I know we don't have a cure for it, obviously, but I'm aware of anything that can be a stopgap to kind of control the continuing damage.
You can, so you would know, you have techniques that you could potentially use for neural pathway damage to hopefully, potentially keep it from getting worse. There's other diseases that do similar things, but you're not sure exactly how to handle this exact disease, but you can kind of model your care after other diseases. So it's maybe is the answer.
Mm. So Lieutenant Kaiser would look at Verma and Terrell and look at Terrell. You have a degenerative condition called Vanar syndrome. Your neural pathways are incredibly damaged. You're suffering from several different brain damages, severe psychosis, degraded neural pathways. Condition is worsening. This is not any kind of neural damage I would expect from someone of your age and condition. Physically, you're in good shape, but mentally it is a disaster, to be completely honest with you. We can try to stop it from getting much worse. I can attempt some techniques. As far as a cure, it's not something we have available on this ship, but we can potentially get to where we need to go. But right now,
she
all I
breaks
can do
in.
is stiffen it.
She breaks in. Is like, and where would that be?
And Kaiser would look at Verma as if he should disclose the location or not.
Verma shakes his head. Tyrell, we are far away from home. We ourselves are doing the best we can to take our disabled ship back. Our supplies, our techniques, our machines and systems are limited, but we are willing to help you and your peoples.
She takes a deep breath. Yes, I know about the Pinar. We all have Pinar except one. One man. That is why we came here. Persecuted. Our ancestors left Vulcan to make a new life where those with Pinar could live their last days in peace, but still,
What?
we've did not die, not as fast as some had expected, and children were born, and generations continue to suffer. Many do not last more than 30 years. Eventually we will all die. My sect, she looks down, wished to find a cure, but the others are afraid we are turning back to the old ways. The ways of logic. She turns and spits. The ways of subjugation for our kind. Ugh. She buries her face into her hands.
Commander Verma nods. Well, before we save the peoples, we must save the individual. And a wise man once long ago said something along the lines of the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, but in this case, I must say, we need to meet the needs of the few. In this case, the few is you, Tyrell. Let Dr. Kaiser help you. Let him do what he can to ease your suffering, and we shall take it from there.
She nods. Very well.
Go ahead, Dr. Kaiser.
I'll request some more things from my lab, and I would hit my comms if I could. Page.
Nurse Davidson.
Yes, that's the name. Nurse Davidson, I'm requiring some additional tools. Any information or supplies relating to stifling continuing neural pathway degeneration. I need it brought to the quarantine area. Please just leave it with Koval. I will be the only one coming in and out of here for a while.
Says, "Of course, doctor." And she, "I'll be right there." And she signs off, and in a few minutes she arrives with several vials of injectable medication, antivirals, regenerative, cellular regenerative, bio liquids, things that you would combat this kind of disease with.
And then while I'm waiting, I'm also going to run some scans on Commander Verma. I know it's usually not transmittable, but I do want to see if he's picked up anything from the planet as well, because I'd like to clear him if I can.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a reasoned medicine.
And then I'll go to my tricorder to the Commander. Commander, I'm going to do a few tests on you to make sure that you haven't picked up anything planet-side.
Very well. Make it so.
Any applicable focus?
Yes. Infectious diseases.
Test would be cool.
1. Generate momentum. Let me give you this. And he's still... Did you take your EV suit off, Verma, or...
No.
No?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
You appear to be all clear, Commander Verma. I would still recommend running through the scrubbers to make sure that nothing is on the suit, but you should be cleared to go, and I can handle things from here unless you'd like to speak with our guest a bit more.
I wish to. Cyril, what can you tell me about the people who attacked us and the people who want to stay?
They're fanatics. My sect, we are the most reasonable. Most of them, they're too far gone. The disease has warped their mind beyond any reason whatsoever.
We observed that there is a starship that is marooned on your planet. Do you and your sect control it? Or is it the people who attacked us?
We do not control the holy ship. It was taken 6 months ago. As their numbers grow and ours decrease,
if Dr. Kaiser is able to help alleviate your symptoms, help you feel better, do you think this would be seen as a welcome sign by your sect and your people?
perhaps some, but this is not a cure.
Yes, it is not a cure.
We must see him, the ancient.
Yes, this is the second time you referred to this person who is not affected by any of this. Where is this ancient?
He lives in the highlands. He is my grandfather.
Could you share the coordinates with me and my officers? Do you think he would mind if we were to visit him and seek his counsel?
I cannot answer that. I do not know. I have not seen him since I was a child. I can give you the coordinates to the mountains, but where he is specifically? She shrugs. I have no clue.
Kaiser would look at Verma upon coming back in with the supplies. We should follow up with this. Cantrell and I spoke when I walked out. It maybe this person is immune. We might be able to figure out. I might be able to figure out something that can perhaps, if not cure this situation, stifle it, make it to where it doesn't get any worse before we can get help.
Yes. Yes. Cyril, please share the coordinates. We will do what we can to reach the Ancient One. In the meantime, Dr. Kaiser will take good care of you.
She looks over to Kaiser. You know about Panar syndrome enough to treat me? About Vulcan physiology? You are only a human.
With all due respect, ma'am, I was the top of my class at the academy, and I have treated
Doctor.
all manner of races.
Doctor, Commander Verma steps in. Now is not the time.
Yes, I can
Commander.
handle your physiology.
She frowns, but doesn't complain.
Please, Cyril, for now, accept these gestures from us. They are for your good. When you feel better, you and I will talk, and I will do the best I can to explain. Some of these subjects require some time and explanation. For now, I think you should concentrate on getting well.
She looks at you completely blank. Like she just... If you say so.
Commander Verma steps through this force field and takes a deep breath. Yes, Lieutenant.
Do you think Trill might be able to tell us something? Should we encounter anyone, if they were her people, that would reassure them of our goodwill?
Yes. I think that's a very good idea, Lieutenant. Please, speak with her. I will be in the ready room. I need to think about this. Dr. Kaiser,
Commander?
I understand the patient is difficult. Do not get irked by her outlook. If she thinks that we are below Vulcans for now, let her think that it's too many things to explain at this stage. Won't you agree?
And Kaiser would nod and administer the treatments to Rill.
As you begin to, you pull up the little injectable and push it against her neck. The scene switches to the bridge. One sec. As Quick and Tala are looking over the sensors, I guess Verma's not here either. Neither is Gantrell. Why don't you guys give me a sensor roll? So this is going to be science and reason, and someone can assist the other. And you can also use the ship's assistant. Let me bring the ship token over.
So I do have a talent that's testing a theory. So I can roll one additional d20 so long as I succeeded on a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field earlier in the same event. Would this count as the same?
Did you...
I did... Oh no, never mind. I didn't succeed on sensors. It was just reading that...
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably be assisting Tala.
Yeah, so you go... So it's a difficulty 3. You can go ahead and give the Saturn roll first. So do a sensors, task sensors off the Saturn.
I'll do that.
And she's doing that, and I'm just rolling the science, task, and reason.
Yes. Actually, for you, Quick, you could probably roll security reason.
And that's a difficulty 2.
Difficulty 3. And Tala, you can roll your normal.
Science reason.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe there's any momentum in the pool, so... Oh, wow. So 3, 5, so you gain 2 momentum there. Alright, I'm gonna whisper you both something. 1 second.
So continuing the RP from before.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick had come up to the console after Tala had asked him to assist. He said, yes, I think me assisting you is a better approach, for sure. And he smiled and offered a light laugh. And when she didn't seem amused or anything, he kind of awkwardly shifts and kind of changes the subject as they punch away on the panels. So I guess that's what one of your race is like when their emotions take over.
Yes, but I have not experienced it much myself. Though the obvious racism prevalent, whether they are emotional or not. She can look at the sensors hard. It looks like there's a massive armed falcons at the foothills of the mountains. And sorry, which coordinates were they?
They're the coordinates that Terrell gave you for the highland, the mountains.
From the coordinates that Terrell gave us.
How many are we picking up?
50.
And out of character, those were the ones that came in to attack.
You're not sure. You don't know who they are, but you have no way of knowing the difference.
I had been reporting stuff as we went. That was not the same
No.
Residential area.
No. Mm-mm.
Can we...
I
is there a
mean,
way to find
from Quick's experience, you would think that this is some sort of military operation.
Right. Right. And then is there a way for me to find out how well they're armed or anything or equipped?
Yeah, the sensors show that they're mostly have light weapons and swords. So you expect most of them have phase pistols and swords. It seems like uh, a standard complement for someone down there.
Yeah, for their current tech and stuff.
Which is a couple hundred years old.
Perhaps we should get this information to the commander. See what he wants to do about this.
Yes.
Commander,
There's a pause before the comm badge clicks. Yes, Lieutenant, quick.
we're picking up about 50 armed at these coordinates here. And he'll send the information to him if he can.
Yep, you have your terminals.
Okay. Commander Verma would have been walking to his ready room to take a moment to think, but once the news comes in, he goes to the bridge. How far are these coordinates again from where you beam me up?
They're several kilometers away.
It appears that they're massing and preparing for some sort of military action.
He hits his comm badge. Dr. Kaiser, Lieutenant Cantrell, did you get the information about the location of the ancient one that Tyrell keeps talking about?
Yes, and it matches these coordinates.
Yes, Commander. It appears to match the coordinates that Lieutenant Quick is showing here. Do we know? Actually, I mean, if Trill will answer, she'll ask Trill if these people, they are the rebels.
Yes. I mean, you're going to tell her everything that's happening. Is that correct?
No, I would just probably ask her if the area where the ancient one is guarded by her enemy.
No, there's no settlements close to there. There should be no one there. Are there people there? What are you saying? And she starts to get worked up.
Just trying to be prepared. Nothing to worry about.
She stands up and starts pacing. Let me out of here. Send me back down. If there's someone there, I need to go. I need to go. And she's starting to interrupting Kaiser's treatments by getting up and kind of moving away and pacing. And
You need to settle down. There's not anything you're going to do in your state.
she curses and finally sits down.
Commander Verma hits his comm badge. Lieutenant Cantrell, please come to the bridge.
Yes, Commander.
Takes you a few moments to get from there to here, but you do get back to the bridge.
Tyrell says that this person at this location is unaffected. Dr. Kaiser thinks that if he could examine this person, maybe he can come up with some sort of a stopgap, giving these people some reprieve.
That makes sense, Commander.
And it seems that their ship is now controlled by the people who attacked myself and Terrell. They have progressed far down this disease's path. I'm not sure if we are successful in even coming up with the stopgap, if it's going to help them or not, but we have to try.
Agreed. They might be feral, but it isn't their fault.
Exactly. Lieutenant Quick, at that location, is there a cave? Is there some sort of a structure? Something that could house, provide shelter to a singular person? Are those people amassing around a central point?
Yes, they've massed at the foothills of the mountains. At
Yeah,
those
there's a ton of caves and stuff in those mountains that someone could hide.
Trill didn't think that there should be anyone there.
It's possible that they know what Trill knows. Maybe they fear this person. From what she says, they do not wish to return back to their old ways, to their ways of logic and composure.
They
But
could see him as a threat then.
yes, if that mountain is riddled with caves, we are going to have a hard time finding this person. But the good news is they're going to have a hard time finding that person as well.
Captain, Commander, I apologize for interrupting. She's been kind of tapping away at the sensors. It seems that the forces that are moving towards the foothill, they're also pulling away from the ship itself, leaving it unguarded. They seem to be moving out quickly in trucks. It seems that whatever is going on in the foothills is providing a needed distraction for what is going on. There's a possibility for some of us to be down, get what we need from the ship, use the tools while they are away, while others go to the foothills.
Give me a moment. Let me think.
Of course.
When we initially scanned, Lieutenant Quickle turned towards Lieutenant Tala. Weren't we able to detect which ones were infected with the disease? Would we not be able to reverse the process to locate this specific individual that is not infected?
It might be difficult, but we could attempt.
That's a good idea.
Lieutenant Tala, do you believe you can coordinate our people to that ship? Have them work and return back?
Yes, Commander. I will keep eyes on the sensors, making sure to see if anyone comes near to beam them away. Get a small team with the equipment, send them down.
Affirmative. You, and this is a explicit order, you are not to step on that planet. Do I make myself clear?
She pauses for a moment before. Of course, Commander, but someone with knowledge of the ship, in-depth knowledge of engineering does need to be down there to coordinate.
Coordinate from here using the comm badge. I cannot afford you falling sick. This ship depends on you, Tala. Dr. Kaiser, can we prepare an additional holding room? We will have an away team.
And Dr. Kaiser would look at the rest of the brig, and we've got other open cells, Captain, or Commander. I'm assuming we can do so.
All right. The moment you are done with Tyrrell, please begin preparations on that. Then he turns to Lieutenant Cantrell and Lieutenant Quick. We are going to go down to that mountaintop and look for this ancient one. If we find him, we'll come back with him. Lieutenant Tala, coordinate your team, get them to get the equipment we need, bring them back safely. Coordinate from here. You have the bridge.
Of course, it will be difficult if I am not down there, Commander. I will have my team do their best, and I will attempt to coordinate them as best as I can.
That will be good enough. If they cannot come back with all the equipment, then so be it.
Of course, Commander.
While they have this discussion, Lieutenant Cantrell is just going to step back and order a security officer to be outside the brig. She's not comfortable with Kaiser being in there alone.
Yeah, one of the security crewmen stands guard outside. There's also Cabal who's around. All right, so 3 of you are going down into the mountains, correct? And then Tala is going to coordinate from the bridge, and Kaiser is going to look over Tyrrell. Is that what I'm hearing here?
Yes, and prepare the secondary quarantine room in the brig.
Okay. All right. So, one thing that's kind of nice about this system is people can play supporting roles if you want to take red shirts down to any of these locations, so everybody can be involved and not just some of you.
We need some red shirts.
Yes, if we have the if we have that option, then definitely.
Red shirts, red shirts.
Okay.
There she is.
Okay, bear with me for a few minutes. So what, Tala, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna follow orders and stay up here?
Yes.
Okay.
She is going to follow orders,
Okay.
staying up there and coordinating the best she can.
All right. So there's one extra.
That one has PTSD from the war.
Yeah, she saw what's his face get completely decimated.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Give me about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Take a 5-minute break if that's okay.
Attack ships on fire.
Sea beams glittering in the dark near Tannhauser Gate. It's the best, probably one of the best sci-fi speeches there's ever been, if not the best.
Yeah. I heard he made up the end.
Oh, he bullshitted that. There were portions of it he cut out because it was supposed to be much longer and a lot more babble in it.
Yeah.
But Rutger Hauer's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he just ad-libbed it. And everybody who was on set, like they called cut. And I think that, if I remember correctly, whoever the director was had a tear in his eye. He was like, yeah, we got to keep it. We're not going to do another one. That's the one.
Time to die. What did you guys think of the new one?
Haven't seen it.
Nani?
Oh. The new,
How come you've not seen it? What the?
I have 0 friends.
Wait, the new what?
The new Blade Runner.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
What? Oh God,
I know.
it's ridiculous.
I still like it.
It is awesome. It
Yeah.
is really, really good.
My friend was like, "Man, Blade Runner 2 was shit," and he was
Fuck.
like going on and all about it. I was like, "Man," he was like, "It was all artsy," and I was like, "Have you seen the first one?"
Yeah, the first one's
Remember
the
that?
definition of artsy.
He's like, "I don't know, man. It was just like, it was just too much, like on the scenery and stuff." And I'm like, "That's what I want to see." I was like, "I want to be there in the cyberpunk world, you know. I want to
Yeah.
see all that stuff."
I think for me, I think what really, it's in addition to that was the part where what the fuck? I was like, wait, is that Hellraiser?
The Blue Man.
He's a bullion. Come on.
No. I just
Hellraiser.
All of our red shirts are blue people. This seems strange.
Yes.
What a color clash.
We're bringing the Blue Man group down.
It's part of our race.
And they're all gonna
Yeah.
die, so it's just like that makes it more fucked up.
Kill the blue people.
They're probably all European, so.
Who wants to play who? Talal, do you want to play the Andorian?
Sure.
Would make sense. Where's your... Oh, shit.
I see what you did.
Now I'm confused. Okay.
I think I'm just happy that there's so much sci-fi out nowadays, you know.
I know. Back in the old days, it was a wasteland.
Yeah. And like, I'll even deal with like pretty bad sci-fi.
Waterworld.
And I'll be like, oh well. At least it's there, you know.
Alright. There we go. Alright, so you guys should have access to Ensign Rumen and Crewman Shakar.
Shakachi. Shakar.
So Talal is here on the bridge, and the 5 of you are going off. Okay, cool.
Shakaka.
Where is she? She sneaks down, but she wears her hood instead. After the battle, the reveal.
We accidentally kill her. Oh. Before we leave, Cantrell is going to turn to Verma. Commander, I'm sure that you got some idea of Trill's instability being there in that brig. But you should know that if she is an example of the more stable, the more sane on this planet, the people that oppose her, she shakes her head. There will be no point in any sort of verbal negotiation.
I agree. I have seen them in battle firsthand. They will rush us at this first opportunity. However, I do not wish to kill them. We are not at war with them. We wouldn't even know about this place and be involved in this conflict if, well, if our circumstances were different. Set your phasers to stun. Put them down. Try not to kill them. But, and he says that if I have a choice between them or any of you, my choice will be always you. If you feel your person is on threat, then you have my order to kill them. But till then, stun them.
That Cantrell nods and makes sure that her weapons are set to stun.
And he would say that to the others as well once he sees them. Set phasers to stun. Put your protection above all else.
Lieutenant Quick nods and does so with both his phaser rifle and phaser pistol. And as
Go ahead.
as they appear, well, go ahead. Actually, I'll wait for the comment.
Yeah, you beam down near where you think this person might be. There are various large holes in these mountains, and you're set kind of on a plateau in the middle of them. The wind sweeps across the mountains and blows sand everywhere. Are you guys wearing EV suits, all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Any physical task is +1 difficulty with these baggy things on.
Sure.
It's actually growing to be late in the day, and you see the star fading in the distance behind the mountain peak. Your temperature gauge on your EV suit shows 60 degrees Fahrenheit currently. It's dropping rapidly. Soon you'll need to use your head flashlights to illuminate around you, which is likely to give your position away by anyone looking in this direction.
Lieutenant Quick will start scanning the area, looking around for any signs of movement.
Cantrell is doing the same, also scanning for any mines that she can detect.
Yeah, you scan for anything like that, and there's definitely nothing, no mines, no alarm systems like you ran into earlier. Nothing like that. It just seems to be the middle of nowhere.
I suppose we'd probably just head to the nearest cave opening then.
Commander Verma, before they start moving. Lieutenant Quick, Lieutenant Cantrell, I believe both of you have had field expertise in tracking. Am I not mistaken? Maybe we can see which of these caves has the most foot traffic in and out.
We can certainly try.
Aye, Commander.
Why don't one of you give me security insight, and then the other person can assist. You can determine who.
I'm going to do security insight. I've got good insight.
And then Quick can assist then. So 1 dice for Quick, 2 dice for Cantrell. I believe, let's see what the pool looks like. You have 3 momentum in the pool right now. Difficulty will be 2.
Okay, I'm going to definitely spend a moment. Do I have a focus?
Yes, infiltration would be fine.
What was the difficulty?
2.
2.
Mhm. All right. Gain 2 momentum. Let me whisper this to you, Cantrell.
Okay. Cantrell is kind of consulting with Quick, and I think they both kind of spot something. He says, or maybe he points out a little something that she manages to identify. Commander Verma, look over there. It's not a cave, but I do see a ladder. It's going far up a cliffside. I can't see the top, but that ladder's got to be there for a reason.
Very well. That is a informed decision. Let's take the ladder up.
And Quick will follow behind. He'll take up the rear position if he can to watch their back.
And you hear Tala Pachin. Commander,
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
sensors are showing that the Vulcan forces are getting closer. They are coming up from the hill.
Very well. Thank you. We'll move double time.
Of course, Commander.
And Commander Verma starts making his way to the ladder. As soon as he gets there, Lieutenant Cantrell, if you would be so kind as to lead the way.
Yes, Commander. And she moves to the front and distances herself by just, maybe 10 feet in front of them.
You all begin to climb. What's the order? Cantrell first, Quick last.
Cantrell first.
Yeah.
Yes. Commander Verma is up right behind Cantrell.
I have small unit tactics too.
For a focus?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. You begin heading up this very, very long ladder. The winds are gusting against the cliff face. I would like Ensign Rumen to roll security fitness, difficulty 2.
All right, am I Rumen? I don't know if we established
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you are. Yes, sorry.
All right, is he? Where's this token?
Do you not see it?
I do not.
Oh, let me see.
Don't know if I have vision on him.
Oh, really? It says you do. Let me see. Maybe it's the token itself. Yep. Better?
Yes. All right. What was the roll?
Fitness security, difficulty 2.
Does he have any focus?
Yeah, he would have focus. The ensign Rumen is climbing in the gust of wind. Suddenly, Rumen's one hand slip and he's hanging precariously by one hand. Crewman Shakir is in front of him and Lieutenant Quick is behind him. What do you do? And he is definitely slowing you up.
Ooh.
Shakir is going to try and reach down and help. Come on, Ensign Rumen.
Shouldn't have been skipping physical training, eh? And try to reach up and...
No. She'll take his hand.
Shakir, give me a fitness security difficulty 2. You clasp onto his wrist. How does that look as you're able to keep him from falling to his death?
Yes, he's kind of swinging his hand wildly, trying to grab hers. She tries to meet his. Takes a few seconds before she clasps onto his wrist and his hand onto hers. And she helps haul him up, get more secure onto the rocks as they climb. Easy does it.
Thank you. And he readjusts himself and begins to climb again.
Okay, that was, I spent 2 threat to do that. I'm going to spend 4 more threat. As you keep going, some of the rebels make their way to the top of this hill and onto the plateau. They immediately see you on the ladder and attempt to shoot with their phase pistols as you're moving. Let's see.
And they're behind us, huh?
Yeah, they're on the plateau.
They're ahead of us then, right?
Well, you are above them. You're climbing up the mountain.
Oh,
and
I see.
They're
I see.
underneath you.
So Lieutenant Quick will shout to everybody, we've got enemies on our 6.
And as you say that, one takes a shot at you. I'm going to spend the momentum to do so. Or threat, I should say. That's going to be a hit. 3. So Quick, you are shot in the back as you're climbing up the ladder. How does that look?
Is the damage...
No, it's only 3. It wasn't enough to give you an injury or anything. Just singes you.
Okay, yeah. Right after he says that, enemies on our 6. The blast hits him in the back, and he slides down a few steps and catches on with one arm, his right hand still gripping his rifle.
The other shoots, and this one happens to be at Ensign Rumen, who's not having a good day so far.
I'll say.
A hit, but also a complication. I'll give you a momentum. Roll damage. Only 3. So he is also shot in the leg, but only a singe as well. How does he react? As he almost falls and then he's shot.
Ugh! Today's not my day, and he's gonna start going around trying to keep climbing, but also maybe trying to get a phaser in his hands as well so he can return fire.
Yeah, you guys are hanging off the side of this cliff, and with these two down here, you probably do not have time to get to the top without being gunned down. So what is it you're going to do?
Cantrell is going to steady herself on the ladder and draw her weapon. Fire.
Okay.
Can I assess if there was a shot fired from the ship, if that would be any danger to us, like danger close?
Well,
there?
it would destroy anybody it hit or blow them into smithereens.
If it was on their position, would it be any danger to us? The distance, I mean?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So that was a +1
I
difficulty, so yeah, go ahead.
I did spend a momentum.
Okay, that's fine.
But I have a focus in it too.
Yep, okay, so -1 momentum. That was a 3 difficulty because of your EV suits and the way you're positioned on this ladder. So that generates 2 momentum. Go ahead and roll damage. You can
Nothing.
that would be 1, but you can spend momentum. As I say, I'm not going to give advice on how to
Yeah,
spend momentum.
I'm going to
at this
spend
point.
momentum.
I
And
think you can re-roll all the dice.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm re-rolling all the dice. So would I just
Yeah, you
click
can.
the damage?
No, because you're going to re-roll 5 of them. So there should be challenge dice, a challenge dice button. So roll. It's ZZ rolled challenge dice and just put 5 in. Unless you want to roll them all. But that's 5 damage. That's enough to kill him. Or stun him, knock him out. Yep. So how does that look as you do that?
Cantrell grabs the ladder with her left elbow and reaches down with her right hand, pulls out the phaser, and aims it at the closest rebel, the one who had shot Lieutenant Quick, and fires it at him. And as it hits him in the chest, he's thrown back, hits his head on the ground. He lays there unmoving. Oh, I can fire again. Wait, can I spend another? Okay, I already spent a momentum.
Yeah, you can.
there a rule about-
You can spend 2 momentum to do a swift action, or I think it's 1 for you, right?
1
That
for
you-
the extra attack because I don't get any negatives for that because of my
Right.
talent.
Yeah. So does it say you get to spend it for less momentum, or because it's usually 2?
No, it would cost me 2.
Okay, so it's just difficulty. Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just
you
the
can do a
difficulty.
swift action and shoot again. Yep. No increase in difficulty, so difficulty 3 still.
I almost got that one. I like that one.
So this one you miss. So you shoot down and it hits at the Vulcan's feet. Who's next?
Who is next? Are we?
It doesn't matter. Anybody can go
Okay,
whenever
I'll
they
fire.
want.
Yeah, I'll fire if I can.
Yep.
I would spend my action to assist him, maybe trying to
Line them up.
yeah, more trying to force him into Quick's fire, maybe
Oh,
shooting
there you
around
go.
him to push him forward.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you can roll 1 die on your control security. Oh man. Yeah.
And I can burn. I can burn to reroll.
No, so you missed. It's only damage dice. You could shoot again with a swift action for 2 momentum if you wanted.
Actually, no. Go ahead. Oh, I don't want to spend it on my
Okay. So you guys just shoot, and this guy begins to take cover, and you're unable to hit him. Who's next?
Shakar will assist Commander Verma.
Okay. So I'm going to make an attack, and I'm also going to do close protection.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend 1 momentum to protect a single ally within close range. And seeing that Quick has been hurt, Ensign Rumen has been hurt. Is Ensign Rumen the closest to me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is to keep him, seeing that he's struggling and he's been hit. Commander Verma is going to spend 1 momentum to protect him.
Done.
And that's if my attack is successful.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use 1 momentum to increase the dice to 3.
Okay. And you'll get an assist from Shakira too.
Okay.
Security control, yeah?
Yep. Difficulty 3 though.
The
But,
total difficulty is 3.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. 4. It's a hit. Go ahead and so you get 1 momentum back. 4.
And I'll use that 1 more momentum to re-roll 2 dice.
Or do you want to bump it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, just bump it to
Yep.
to 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
You remember when I'm playing Nobunaga, you got to give me, if I'm doing something stupid, you can help me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about the
Yeah.
the bumping it 1.
Yeah. So how does that look as you knock this guy out too,
So,
combined with her help?
Yeah. So as he's seeing the phasers, being shot around him, and he hears Ensign Rumen kind of shout, and Lieutenant Quick also kind of wince with being hit. Commander Verma is going to we have no time. Move up the ladder. Ensign Rumen, move past me, and he kind of makes some space for him to go past him. He turns around. Lieutenant Tala, fire in the general location. Make that Vulcan think you're going to shoot him.
Commander.
And as soon as not Tala, sorry, crewman Shakir, and as soon as she shoots Commander Verma, he pauses a moment to see the Vulcan flinch, and then he takes aim and he shoots at him on his right shoulder.
As you hit him on the right shoulder, he spins and falls to the ground. You see in the distance, more Vulcans are coming, but at that point you're able to begin to hustle up the ladder and make it to the edge before they get up onto the plateau.
Excellent. I have a question. Is this ladder made out of stone?
It is actually made out of metal rungs, and the rungs are driven into the side of the mountain.
Okay. He's going to turn to Lieutenant Quick, crewman Shakir, Ensign Rumen, and all of them. I want you to concentrate your fire in the middle of that ladder. I want you to shoot it out.
Yeah, you can melt it.
Yeah. Melt a few of those rungs out so that they cannot get up here.
All right, Commander.
Yes,
Hi,
Commander.
I'll wait for Quick to fire so I can focus where he's hitting.
And should I?
The combined strength of all your phasers together easily melt several of the rungs in the middle of the ladder, leaving a large enough gap where anybody coming to catch you would have a very difficult time.
Okay. We have made it this far. Just find this Vulcan.
I believe Talah's doing something on the ship. You get to the top of this cliff, And there's a small walkway where you would have to walk single file, moving away from the Vulcans below and rounding a corner. Tala, if you want to do that, let me help you. Go ahead and just use your skill on there.
I can give my token.
Yeah, I pulled it over. Oh, wrong way. Sorry. Wrong.
I'm going to spend a momentum for this.
Sure.
So I'll do.
You're down to 0 momentum now. Difficulty 3. You're rolling 3 dice. Do you have focus?
No.
No, you do not. Let me see if Quick would, or not Quick. Pain. If he does, then cool. We'll do it. No. Yeah, Talal is trying to give me a science, a straight science daring roll.
Oh.
Difficulty 1. Yeah. Yeah, you're unable to actually find the exact cave that this person is in by looking for his genetic patterns. The interference of the rock is just too much. While the rest of you begin to round the mountain, you look down and you see the last vision of these Vulcans coming up. Now there's more than 50. There might be 100.
We've got company, Commander.
Yes, but it will take them some time to get up here. Time that we can use to find this person. I will depend on you, Lieutenant Cantrell, and you, Lieutenant Quick. Put your skills at use. We need to navigate these tunnels, find this man.
All right. I'm going to get in front so that if I can see any signs of passage, any footprints, anything like that, it won't be obscured by our own.
I should probably take point with you.
Absolutely. 4 eyes are better than 2.
As you get...
And,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, and using the constantly watching, looking for hidden enemies, or we'll start scanning any, like he was saying before, any tracks, if we can find any heavily traveled areas.
You're expecting that this could be a very difficult thing to do, with various caves and many different paths. As you get closer to the top, it begins to open up. But standing on another small plateau above you, you see a figure. Brown rose flapping in the wind as dust passes by, as the sun finally is beginning to set. He is a mask over his nose and mouth, covering it from exposure in the elements. Gray hair is speckling the sides of his face, or the sides of his hairline. His ears jutted up. He looks down upon you. His hands clasped behind his back, almost serene as the sunset is behind him. Well, it took you a long time to find me. And as he says that, the camera pans back, looking down upon the mountains and the Vulcans at the bottom, beginning to try to find paths up. And the group of 6 now, standing high and at the top of this arid mountain. And then it pans over to the crashed ship and a small engineering crew beaming inside. And then into the makeshift medical quarantine area with Tyrell lying in her bed and Dr. Kaiser looking over her. And finally to the bridge where Tala sits in the captain's chair, watching the outcomes from both the mountain and the crash ship. And as this occurs, the screen fades to black. And that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you've stayed here and you've watched this long, please subscribe and like the video. Thanks. I did it.
Yay.
So what do you think? I have